In this test, we are making an HTTP request. Now, whenever there is a change in the component, there will be a new save of all files, and on all saving actions, this HTTP call is made. This isn't an ideal way. It really makes unwanted HTTP calls all the time, which is very heavy on the server for no reason, and also execution takes time as well. Also, in case if you are testing post requests or maybe delete requests, especially post request will add data on the server and delete may disrupt the data. You do not need that while testing the API is called all the time. In this case, the best way is to mock this process. Mock gives a similar environment to the test where instead of actual calls, it will mock the returning values or situation which will execute fast and server APIs are not called at all. Jest gives us a facility to create a dummy function which can mock an API call or even any other process you want to mock. Let's create a mock for the fetch API. So before this component is rendered, we want that the fetch API should be mocked. Here I will write window.fetch. The fetch API is a part of browser. Now in JavaScript, you can override a function's definition. This is just a fetch function, but you can override any other predefined function of JavaScript. So after this window.fetch, I'll say equal to, and then jest.fn, which is a utility function, and then I open the brackets and you can see it says that it creates a mock function. So that's it. Now the next thing is I will say window.fetch.mock resolved value once. Now this function will return the value when the mock function is called, and the result returned in our fetch API call is an object. So here I will open curly brackets and inside I will say JSON colon and an async function and then the value to be returned, which is an array in our case, and then we define the sample data. And here you can see that we have email and username data. So the same we will return. So here I'll say email, let's say colon abc@test.com and the username abctest. That's it. Now let me just save this and you see that the test is passed. But the most amazing thing here is that it did not call the fetch API, there was no call to server, and you can still manage your testing the way you want. So this is the advantage. You just mock the data, you return the data, you create an environment which allows you to stop those unwanted calls of API. If you talk about a relative question, then the question can be what is mocking in the test. So basically you try to mock certain situations where you want to avoid unwanted calls.